Welcome to another Coach's Preseason Show right here on Cakeland Sports at Open Spaces Sports, brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Kansas. Our coach Yates joins us of the St. Francis Indians. Coach, what do you expect this year?
Well, expectations are high, and we expect to compete day in and day out.
All right, folks, now the St. Francis Indian football team in this season, you can find out more about it when you go to openspacessports.com. Coach, let's talk about the upcoming season. You're the preseason ranked number one. Some coaches don't like it. Some coaches are okay with it. They kind of use it as maybe motivation. I don't know. Your thoughts on how that goes with you?
Well, personally, I think it's a great honor. I mean, it pays a lot of tribute to our coaching staff, to our players, their ability to transform into new players, their ability to improve their performance, and I love it. I feed off of it, and I want our kids to be exposed. I want them to be in the spotlight. I want that opportunity for our kids, and we'll thrive on it.
I remember last year when we spoke to you for the first time, the sense I had was that you were an intense person. Mm-hmm. And have you been able to, obviously, to transfer that over to your football team? Well,
I am a high-energy guy. I think that's important, to kind of get in that same energy. And there's a difference between, a dictator and someone with high energy. And a dictator is more commanding, and it's either this way or it's that way. My energy shows the positive side of it, the enthusiasm, the excitement, and we focus every day on the journey, the moment. We focus on getting where we want to go, and that's why I use so much energy in practice.
Your leadership on your team for this season, where does it come from?
Well, we have 7 returning seniors from a team last year that was 10-1, and those kids, for the most part, 6 out of 7 have been in the weight room, have led our group workouts, have led our skill development, and so that group will be our group that really, carries us forward into the next steps, into the progression of the playoff format.
Is your team more about defense? Or will the defense create the offense, mm-hmm. or will the offense be ball control? And is that mm-hmm. your strength?
Well, that's a good question. I think our strength is our players, and what I mean by that is last year we didn't spend a whole lot of time on defense. We only give up 100 and some points, but we have already started in camp this year, spending a lot more time trying to get our defense to be more cohesive, because we had to replace 2, our starting linebackers who were seniors last year, and we have some really good young players that are going to, fill those shoes nicely. But I think our strength is the ability to move the ball and to stop the ball on third down. I think that's where our strength's going to be.
As you look at your schedule for this year, you got some pretty good opponents coming up, mm-hmm. Including the number 1 team. The team you play right out of the gate, mm-hmm. Sharon Springs, who's always good. They're a Division II team. However, the schedule, as you look at it through the season, your thoughts on it?
Well, I think the schedule as a whole is going to be a lot better. I think this year, especially open up with Sharon Springs. I think that's a tremendous opportunity to be a part of for St. Francis, but also Wallace County, and I think that we've got some friendly games at home early, and then we have to go to Atwood, we have to go to Hoxie, we finish at Trago, and so I think that the schedule is very accommodating to us based on how we prepare and how we train for opponents, and so I think that it sits nicely with what we want to accomplish as a team.
Final question. Last year you got into the playoffs. You were knocked out of the playoffs, I think, if I remember, out in the second round of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. How would that experience for your kids help you this season?
Well, you start from the trip. We finish a Tuesday night playoff game, and we have to travel to Solomon, which is, across, past Salina. And, that's a good 4 or 5 hour trip for us. And so that means that we were going to have a travel day on Friday to go stay. So that eliminated one of our practices. So what it has taught me as a coach is to prepare for that opportunity during the year. So we break down our practices. We try to break down our segments to accommodate that future schedule that is very difficult to face there in the early part of November.
All right, well, listen, thank you for visiting with us. Great opportunity and expectations here in St. Francis. Good luck to you, and we'll be following you throughout the season on Open Spaces Sports.
Thank you. We look forward to it.
All right, Coach Yates joining us here on Open Spaces Sports, brought to you again by Farm Credit of Western Kansas and also the businesses throughout the St. Francis community. Thanks for joining us.